Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I'm Sovereign. Today we're back in Myth of Empires. Going to be talking about the update today on the 17th of December, pretty damn close to Christmas. There's a lot of stuff to go over, so I'm going to pick out some of the major points and talk about those ones and some of the big changes, because there's a lot of stuff in this kind of confusing, and I did ask some questions to Quixer to make sure that I understood what was going on, because some of them I was just like, okay, what does that mean? So we're going to go over it and make sure that you guys understand what exactly is changing and what is coming. Now remember, if you do enjoy my content, make sure to throw up a like. If you would like to stick around for all of your Myth of Empires content, make sure to subscribe. And if you fancy supporting me and the channel, we have a Patreon in the description. So let's see what they've added to the game. So they've added these first couple of points. Actually confused. I was like, what does it even mean? So they're talking about lobby cross-server teleport function. So they're talking about now when you select a country you want to teleport to, but not in the current server, the button on the bottom right will be enter counties. The nitty-gritty of it is basically you can just travel from county to county in the actual like starting menu where you go to pick your character, where you normally it'll be on the bottom right, it will say quick join. If you click a different server, you'll be able to just jump to that county. But there are some restrictions. When you do the lobby cross server teleport, your character will revive in the target county, which means you'll drop all of your items in both your inventory and sidebar. So if you do have anything on your character when you do the lobby transfer, it will get deleted, because basically essentially you're dying and respawning in the new county. If you do this, all of your assigned horses and warriors that would be the ones that are out will be executed, so you'll start to lose life force in them, and that's only when you do the lobby cross transfer. So make sure they're all like docked up inside of stables or in tents, but it will allow you to be able to jump from one side of the map to the other side of the map with nothing on you. That's what it seems like it's been written here to me. If your character doesn't meet the requirements, you'll only be able to teleport between counties in your current commandery and the adjacent commandery. This is a good addition for those that want to like move away from one area and go to another area without jumping 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. And if that is indeed exactly what this is, you'll be able to just jump from one to the other. So it's good for those who get wiped on a server and want to get away as far away as they can from some of the guilds on the actual official servers. So that'll be good for them. It's a nice little addition for the guys over there, and they're really working hard to make sure that they get all the feedback in and they're actually making changes on player feedback. They will be adding a notification for the player's current server when you log into the game, and they're adding a secondary password function. So if you're playing on your account and you'll want to play at work, for example, and you have your laptop at work or your work computer is powerful enough to play the game and it has a different IP, you will have to put in a secondary password to be able to play the game. This is to stop account sharing, which has been happening quite a lot for a lot of the more naughty alliances and guilds out there. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm pretty sure most people know who they are. They will be adding the Silver Cloud armor and the Gilded Beast armor, which is unlocked at level 60. They're going to be adding the new crafting recipe for decorative building. You can learn this recipe to craft different kinds of ornaments and accessories. They've added the item selling function in the guild shop. That's going to be an interesting one. It's probably going to be specific things you'll be able to sell to the guild shop, and it's still going to have limits because they do a lot of stuff in this game to stop you from being able to grind out as much as possible. Except for the resources, there's no limit to that, but copper coins, for example, to unlock your skills, they put a sort of limit on how much you can do, but you can still grind out by killing NPCs. So now we have some optimizations and adjustments. You will be able to still feed animals to improve their mood. So when they're full, normally they'll stop eating and their mood will continue to go down, but you can feed them, force feed them basically, to be able to get their mood up just a little bit more, especially if we want to keep it around at 100%. And you have some absolute maniac out there grinding the pen food, because that's pretty nutty to the requirements that are just not for me. No thank you. I'll leave that to someone more capable hand. They've added a cooldown time for warriors using food and medicine, because there wasn't any before, so they could just consistently just throw up medicine and food and heal up and blah, and it was just not good. So they'll show you exactly how many players are joining the battlefield in the prefecture event panel. Now this is quite a big one, because this one is like, it was a bit annoying to have 20 to 30 ice boxes just running around ice containers sitting around in your base to try and live in the desert. So they've adjusted it. It was between 16 and 18. I can't remember the exact size of the ice containers radius, but they've now made that 50 meters, so you won't require so many of them. It's a good change for those wanting to live in the desert, and they've reduced the consumption rate of ice dramatically, so it's not going to be every 1 hour anymore. It's going to be way more than that, and hopefully they'll actually adjust the decay time from 48 hours to something higher than that. I don't think this changes the cart mount and container, but at least the amount, the consumption rate of the ice will be dramatically lowered. They've reduced the number of copper coins that the character can exchange before reaching level 20. They've adjusted the number of copper coins as a reward for completing the level 19 side quest, Control a Ram's Horn Wheelbarrow, to 100. That was given a decent amount. People were basically starting up new characters, doing the side quest, getting that side quest, getting that big chunk of copper coins, sending it to someone, and then deleting the character, doing it again, get into the wheelbarrow, sending the money, do it again, get in the wheelbarrow, etc., etc. There was other things that they were doing as well, like people are creating characters, selling stuff on the resource guild boundary marker, deleting the character, starting up again, getting in a guild, going to the guild base, selling more resources over and over again. So the guild had hundreds of thousands of copper coins, and it was absolutely mental. But that's something that is like they haven't really fixed yet. Another major change for PvE is that you will no longer be able to build on roads and on bridges in PvE mode on the PvE servers. Now, I don't know what that means for people that have already built on the roads or on the bridges. If you built on the bridges on the PvE server, you're an asshole anyway, so hopefully your whole base gets destroyed, because that's always been a rule that you're just not supposed to build on the bridges. It's the only way for people to be able to actually, without going and building their own bloody bridge. But there was a reason why they didn't allow the bridges to be blocked, so people can get over rivers in their carts, etc. They've also added options for players to be able to delete their own buildings even when they're in a guild if that option is picked. And guild members can no longer change the name or set the password for a building whose permissions is separately designated by the player. So you can't go in and change the password or the actual level of the guild member that can go inside of someone else's building, which we are able to do. If you put a pin code on there, you just change the setting by holding down E, change it to whatever you want, and then get inside some of your friend's base, get in there, steal a couple of bits of food or whatever you're going to steal out there, and then lock the door back up again. It was quite annoying when people would do that, thieving little monkeys. And they've also fixed the amount of copper coins you gain from throwing grass on the boundary marker, because you could get a decent amount of money from that grass, and the grass has been dropped down to 1 copper. So we've got a few fixes going on. Some of the optimizations and adjustments I'm really happy with. There's a lot of the additions that I'm happy with over time. I'm glad that they're finding time to actually update and optimize the game that we are currently playing, even though they haven't been able to put this game up for sale. But when the actual game goes back on sale, it will be much more optimized, and they'll be better for a lot of the new players that will be coming in once it goes back up on the Steam store. It will only help to build the game up when players can finally get in. So let's go over the fixes now. So they're fixing descriptions on some of the skills. They fixed an issue causing the horse to lose 20 points of life force per second when a guild last member quit the guild while reviving the horse. They fixed the wrong description. That was mad. Like, if people went into your actual stable, went in and clicked on the resurrect your horse, like revive your horse, and then left the guild, it would just go dunk 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 until 0 life force. So that was a really bad bug. They fixed the wrong description of killing in the territory panel. They fixed an issue causing no real-time update for the warriors' injuries. So basically, when they was getting damaged, it wouldn't show you how much life they had. It would just, like, you'd just be sitting there, the next minute it'll be down to 25% health, and you'd be like, Jesus, you just got hit by a massive crit, but it just wasn't updating quick enough. Now here's an odd one. People were building in the instances of the treasure maps that you can only get in with the treasure maps. So you had to farm up a load of these treasure maps, and you'd be able to access a base. And it was only then when the people got in there, they could see that there was base structure buildings in there. Now, it's not easy to go in and out, and it isn't exactly somewhere you could live properly, but it was something that was going on, and it's now fixed. They fixed the situation where the player will lose control of the characters when stunning and lifting a sleeping warrior. It was just getting stuck. It was like the same thing was happening on carts as well. I'm hoping that sort of will fix that at the same time. They fixed the situation where the player will lose the item's durability twice when knocked down and killed. Now the player will only lose the item's durability for 1 time when being knocked down and killed. So before, you'd get hit, you'd get knocked down, you'll take a durability hit, and then when you died after that knockdown, you then take another durability hit. So it's just going to be the 1 now. That's a good fix. They fixed the situation where the merchant's products cannot be stacked. They fixed the wrong value display for your character's armor, talent, durability, and efficiency. They fixed an issue causing the effect of Art of Strategy Swift as a sparrow mistakenly increases the XP for Art of Strategy Cruelty. They fixed the abnormal display of the warrior's behavior on the cart when they are revived from afar and teleported. Fixed the abnormal display when warriors switch seats in siege engines. They fixed the abnormal display of players and their carts in some terrains. They fixed the wrong value display of the armor's impact force bonus, so we'll actually be able to see how much the bonus is now. They fixed the situation where a block won't reduce the opponent's weapon durability. Another thing that people were exploiting when leveling up their weapon and leveling up their shield. But shh, don't tell anyone, it's fixed now. They fixed a situation where every guild member can open the personal building's inventory. They fixed an issue causing no cooldown time for the shield bash when crouching. It was like, that was nice, so you just jump down and duff, 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 another sort of, it's not really an exploit though, that's just, I mean, it kind of is. Leveling up your shield that way is pretty nuts. They fixed a situation where the door can't be dismantled when the door frame is broken. Door floating in space doesn't always happen, but it happened quite a few times. They fixed the wrong description of the horse tranquilizer. They fixed a situation where the player can toggle repeating crossbow to their offhand weapon. They fixed the wrong name for the level 10 collect daily quest. And they fixed some issues causing terrain cracking, game clipping, and item floating. And basically that's all we have today. Some really good stuff going on here. We got the additions of being able to do the cross lobby transfer, jumping from servers. They've added a new armor sets, the password functionality to help stop people from sharing accounts, and they've added the item selling function in the guild shop. I want to see how how much that will impact the amount of copper coins you can make. A lot of the optimizations and adjustments are just absolutely amazing. They're really listening to the players' feedback and they're changing what needs to be changed. I'm not seeing a lot of games that I do play and I have played in the past. When you see patch notes, you see loads of shit like, who actually cared about that? Like, that doesn't seem important. But what they're changing and what they're optimizing and the adjustments that they're making is off of player feedback. All of this stuff I've complained about to guildmates, and I've had guildmates complain about. I've seen some of these complaints in the actual Discord themselves, and people are putting in the suggestions tabs, etc. I can see that they're doing a lot of good work and they're actually listening to the player base where it matters, and not listening to the people that don't actually know how to play the game and try to get changes made because they just don't understand the mechanic or something. So it's really good to see. So again, hats off to the developers. You're doing an amazing job, even after going through all this crap you've been going through. And that's basically all we have for today. I hope I was able to clear some of this up for you and help you to understand what's actually coming in and what's changing. Remember to like the video if you do want to see more content like this when we do get big updates. Remember to like and sub if you haven't already. There is a Patreon in the description if you'd like to support me and the channel. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.